Marco Rubio, welcome.
Thank you.
You've said the media have a double standard when it comes to conservatives, but you've gotten plenty of good coverage. There are some pundits who say you could emerge to win this nomination. Do you think the press has been unfair to you personally?
Well, it's not about unfair to me personally. I think it's part of the territory. I think what's difficult is to look at, for example, Hillary Clinton. She has a hearing on Benghazi where it's clear that she lied. I mean, she was being told repeatedly by foreign leaders, and she was telling foreign leaders that the attack on the consulate was not a part of a uprising, that it was an organized attack. She was telling family members that, and then she was telling relatives of the victims something completely different, and the American public something completely different. That's a big deal. And the media ignores that, and instead they focus on her overall performance.
It was televised for 11 hours, but that was a nice pivot to Hillary.
No, but they ignored it when in their analysis of that hearing. Their argument was she had the greatest week of her campaign, right. She was phenomenal, and they completely ignored that she had been exposed as a liar when it came to Benghazi.
Been a lot of media focus on your finances. You cashed in an IRA, you bought an $80,000 boat. There was the business about repaying a few personal charges on a Republican Party credit card, which you settled in years ago in Florida. Do you sometimes feel like you're penalized for not being wealthy?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, well, it's not about penalized. I just don't, I think it's absurd, right? Mitt Romney was too rich to be president, but I'm not rich enough. I mean, that's silly. The truth is my finances, especially not anymore, but maybe my first 10 or 15 years of my marriage looked a lot more like the people I represent than the people that I serve with. And so instead of looking at that and understanding why that makes me so passionate about the issues facing the American people, they focus on why didn't I follow the advice of some financial advisor who analyzed my finances and thought I should have done this instead of that. The truth is I've invested whatever we've made into my children. All 4 of them have their college paid off for their first 4 years, so they don't have to take out student loans. Today the only debt I have is my home in Miami, which 4 blocks from the house that I grew up in. That's the true analysis, and you're not, I mean, again, the media is not just driven by bias, it's also driven by conflict. I mean, they want there to be a scandal or a story, and sometimes they make mountains out of molehills.
The media are driven by conflict, I will grant you that. Speaking of conflict, New York Times reporting that Jeb Bush super PAC is contemplating a $20 million negative ad blitz against you, particularly perhaps highlighting your position on abortion, not favoring any exceptions, saying that you could be unelectable. I know you want to run your own campaign, but that's some pretty heavy tonnage. How would you react?
Well, first, I can save them $20 million by telling you right now I am pro-life, because I believe all human life is worthy of the protection of our laws. It's a tough issue.
But you have voted in the past for some bills with exceptions for incest, life, and mother?
As president, I will support and sign any legislation that saves lives, even if it has exceptions. I don't personally require exceptions, but if there is a bill before me that saves lives by preventing abortions after 20 weeks or whatever it may be, I will sign it, even if it has exceptions.
Jeb Bush, of course, was your mentor in Florida. It's uncomfortable.
Again, I'm not running against Jeb Bush. I'm running for president.
Only one person is getting this nomination,
I
Senator.
understand. And so it's a competitive environment, but it's not personal. I like Jeb Bush. I have affection for him. I have respect for him. He was a great governor in Florida. But this election's about the future.
Jeb Bush and John Kasich were among those mixing it up with Donald Trump at a debate here in Milwaukee on the issue of immigration. I know your position on immigration. I'm wondering, you didn't jump in. I'm wondering if you feel a little skittish on this issue because you were part of an effort to forge a congressional compromise that fizzled and some say hurt you with your party.
Well, I think one of the reasons I wasn't even asked is because my position on abortion, my position on immigration is the best understood of all the people on that stage.
But you could have jumped in, raised your hand.
Well, but I mean, I've stated it and talked about it so many times that it would be like redundant to ask again, but I'm more than happy to talk about it anytime I'm asked directly about it.
Well, as you know, Donald Trump says he wants to deport the 11 million illegal immigrants living here and then perhaps let some back in.
Yeah, I think we need to have a realistic but responsible approach to that problem. It begins by bringing illegal immigration under control. Until you prove to people that illegal immigration numbers are significantly down and the issue's under control, you're not going to be able to do anything.
The media often raise the experience question when it comes to you. It came up again at the debate. Young, ambitious, first-term senator, as was Barack Obama. How much of an obstacle is this for you? It seems to come up an awful lot.
Well, Barack Obama has 7 years of presidential experience, and he's still failing. He didn't fail because he was a senator. He failed because his ideas don't work. I admit there are people running that have more experience than I do on the issues we faced 15 years ago. But on the issues before America now, over the last few years, no one has shown a better understanding or judgment on them than I have.
But you're saying your opponents are living in the past?
I'm saying that I'm the only one running for president that is offering creative, unique ideas about how we can apply conservatism, limited government, and free enterprise to the unique challenges of a new and rapidly changing era. This campaign is about the 21st century and what it will take to make it the new American century. And I'm the only one running for president that's making that argument.
I have heard that slogan a few times from you. Senator Rubio, thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks.